Marcus,
Yes,
how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Good, thanks. Yeah, good to be here. And well, it was a short stay, but I wish I could stay longer.
You're here for a good reason.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into the music, I'd like to jump back a little bit. And I wrote down a quote, and it's from another interview, but you said, and I'm paraphrasing, that you felt it was important to have heroes.
Oh
And
yeah.
you mentioned Jimi Hendrix. So why do you think it's important to have heroes?
God, and I guess I don't know. It's like a lot of my. I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know. I think it's important to be inspired by someone, and I don't know. All of my heroes had heroes of their own, and
Sure.
they tried to be like other people and stuff. And I guess a lot of my heroes were people like Dylan or Tom Waits or stuff. They were sort of mimicking what was going around and collecting lots of little bits and sort of putting it together. And
Sure.
and I don't know. I just think it's so important to have people that you sort of, I don't know, that just are like out of this world, magical, And for me, like there was a few artists that just hit me so hard when I was about 12, 13, 14 that just made me want to do that, and just, I don't know, to try and aspire to being
Sure.
like that, I mean, you look at Jimi Hendrix and he's like on another planet.
Sure.
And I just
So
found
was
that
it particularly him that did it for you? Well, when you mentioned 12, 14, so who was
Yeah, I
the
mean,
first?
Hendrix the first gig I ever went to see was a blues guitarist called Buddy Guy
Sure.
with my mum when I was about 12. And he went into the audience and started shredding like right next to me. And I was just like, I don't know, 11 or 12. And I was just like, I want to do that.
Sure.
That's what I want to do. So, but yeah, I guess, I mean, different people affected me. I mean, I grew up listening to like, a lot of what everyone else did at my age, like Beatles and
Sure.
Stones and stuff. But I mean, the person who had the most impression on me, I think, was Van Morrison and Tom Waits.
Okay. And well, with those two, was it their lyrics? Was it their voice? Was it their songwriting?
Yeah, it was just everything. I mean,
Okay.
Dylan's lyrics sung to me the most, and Tom Waits. Yeah, I mean, I basically throughout my whole childhood tried to be like Tom Waits.
And so, did you sing early on? Well, was it around that age when you saw Buddy Guy, and was that around the time that you started trying to make music yourself or making music yourself?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I was always. I think it. Well, I mean, it was like Hendrix made me want to play guitar,
Sure.
and then it was like when I discovered, Dylan and all that made me want to write songs. But at the same time it was such an interesting time growing up because you'd have like a Bob Dylan record, but you'd also have like a Tupac record,
Sure.
or like a TLC or like, R. Kelly. So it's like, that's, I guess, what I'm trying to do now is like, I realized that I had two spectrums of music going on, you'd have like the Spice Girls and like, and Tupac, or like.
But in that sense, then, when you start thinking about a song or start writing a song, so you're very free then. You don't have an idea of how it should sound, but you can take bits and bobs from everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, I guess before I was just writing songs, and that's still really important to me, that process, and I'm still going to continue to, I mean, I still write songs now,
Sure.
But like, essentially it's the same thing, Well, I mean, I think with this stuff now, I'm drinking from a different well, which is like comes from more like soul and gospel music that I also grew up listening to.
And this songwriting tradition, this might be a little bit vague, but what did you get out of songwriting about putting thoughts to paper and then expressing them?
What did I get out of it? Well, I guess I don't know, various things happen to you, and I don't know. Me and my friends, we always used to play at this open mic night, and it was about write songs and then perform them, and it was, everyone was trying to be as best as they could be, and,
Sure.
and so it was, I don't know, it was just something that I just wanted to do, it's like, because of my heroes, I was just away, I was just like, that's what I wanted to do, and I don't know, I guess it's a really nice feeling when you write a song that kind of expresses a time and a place, and
In that sense, are the things that you write, are they autobiographical? Are they taken from your own life?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a strange thing,
But then, for instance, with one of your latest tracks, Greg's Love, you had the chance to work with Bootsy Collins. So
yeah.
And I don't know if he was one of your heroes as well, growing up.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
James Brown. Actually, one of the main influences that I completely forgot about since I was about 4 was Michael Jackson.
Okay.
And James Brown.
Right.
And so I just loved my dancing, and I always used to try and dance like Michael Jackson. But same with James Brown. If and so and then Funkadelic and Sly and the Family Stone. I mean, like Bootsy Collins was like, from a very young age was just like, whoa, and it was great. And same with my bass player, it was one of his big influences.
But so when did you work together in the studio?
No. We just we just had this we just had this bit that, because the bass line was inspired by him, and it was sent to me on a phone. I was in the studio, and Greg sent me the bass line on my phone, and then we just said, oh, we need to just get Bootsy on this, and we just messaged him, and he really loved the song, and I thought he would just be like, oh, Bootsy baby, like I was like, just say anything, just do whatever, like it could be him just eating a sandwich, and that would be enough, but he just was so kind and came back with this amazing these parts, and it was it was incredible.
And do you remember what the starting point of that track was? Where that kind of originated?
Greg sent me a bass line on my phone, just inspired by Bootsy. It's this funky like, and I was in the studio with my producer, and we just loaded up the audio memo clip, and just had a part. We just basically put a groove together, and we were just dancing around, and so we just basically pretty much wrote the song like really quickly, and so it just felt really good.